Hi, this is Stephen here from Share Navigator, and this is your day trading update for November the 18th. So normally we used to do the options and futures trades together with our day trades, but it's getting a little bit too big. So we're going to separate out the videos. For those of you who are just interested in day trading, and then obviously this video will be for you, and then we'll do a separate video on our options and our futures trades. So today we're going to cover four major currency pairs. We're also going to mention gold for day trading purposes too. There's a setup there that's working, and we'll cover that in the next few moments. So first and foremost, we're going to look at our day trading, and this is a spread betting account. But if you're not in the UK and Ireland, you might be using CFDs or whatever way you trade currencies. The process is the same, and the signals are pretty much the same. So remember again here, by the time we get our signals and put out the trade and you receive them on WhatsApp, the trade is probably gone. So we're not going to do that. Yesterday, we'll just update you. We traded the euro dollar once and we generated a profit. So we got our buy signal here and we sold out about an hour and a half later, made a profit. We also traded the US dollar and the Japanese yen. Now, we didn't put that trade out, so we traded it from here down. We didn't put that trade out because we hadn't covered it in the morning session. So we're going to cover all these four currencies. So these are your trade setups. And I just want to remind you, put your alerts in whatever charting package you're using. If you're using IG Index here, you can create alerts that will let you know when your targets are met, or when, for example, RSI hits 30 or 70. And if you need help with that, please reach out, book a web meeting, and we'll just get you sorted on that. Because it wouldn't be right for us to put out the trades we're doing on this, because by the time you receive them, they are time sensitive trades. And by the time you get that alert, the trade is gone. And we don't want you putting on the trade when it's too late. Okay, so let's start off with the euro dollar. We know that it's a sideways trend, and we can trade this in either direction, short or long. So now we move into our 15-minute chart. So it's pretty much the same as yesterday. We wait for it to get above 70 or below 30. Now, one word, something I want to mention to you here. This was the trade we did yesterday. And if you can see here, it looks like the RSI actually didn't get to 30, but it did. So what you're looking at is the RSI based on the closing candle here. But if you look at the wick of that candle, it was actually lower, and we got the alert to put the trade on. But when it was below 30 at that moment in time, and we got out about an hour later, as I said. So just be aware of that. Your alerts might come intraday, and it might look then afterwards retrospectively when you look, it didn't hit it, but it actually did there. So what we're waiting on here is for RSI to get to 30, we go long on the euro dollar. If it gets to 70, we go short. It's as simple as that. And then we're closing it out when one of two things happens. For us, our rules are if it gets to 50 on the RSI, we close out. But if you can't watch it, which mostly of you won't be able to do, I would suggest taking your limit 10 points away on the euro dollar. So whatever your bet size is. So for example, if we got an alert here to go long on the euro dollar and we put a bet size of 5 on it and we set our limit price as 10, you can see the chart is telling you there it's where you will be getting out on this. Now, this isn't a trade we place right now, by the way, but we're just trying to show you for purposes. And then if we're going long on this, then I'd be saying, okay, well, this is definitely the area here I want to protect against. So our stop loss, let's say we'll go 10 away, and that's just below here, you can see. So we're only risking €50 on this trade. Maybe I'll go 15 just to give it a bit of wiggle room. You can see the stop is being shown here well below that previous low. So that's our rules for this. So if this trade comes on, if RSI gets to 30, we will go long on this today, and we'll close out 10 points away. The size of your bet really depends on the size of your account. And also, remember, if you have a 10 grand account, for example, and you're only risking 2%, you stick to the rule, that's a €200 loss. So when we up our trade size, for example, here to 10, we're still within our parameters here. So we could put on a bet of 10, assuming we had the margin to place the trade. So the size of your bet can dictate as well how wide your stop can be. So you have to find that balance for you, and everybody is different in that. And again, book a web meeting if you need to discuss this at all. Okay, so that's just the risk parameters. Moving on quickly then to the British pound versus the US dollar. So our daily chart, you can clearly see this is in a downtrend. So we would only trade this one way at the moment on the shorter term time frame, and that's short. So we would wait for example, a 15-minute chart. We would wait for the RSI to get to 70 and then short it. We wouldn't go bullish on this kind of downtrend and that. So That would be for the British pound versus the US dollar. The euro versus the British pound, you can see the main trend is up. So we would prefer to trade this in a bullish way, but it's kind of at the lower end here. Yeah, we'd still prefer to go bullish on this on a 15-minute chart. So if, for example, we got any of these alerts on the RSI being below 30, we would go long. And again, same rules apply as we did with the euro dollar. And then the final one is the dollar versus the Japanese yen. This is slightly different. We're in a clear up channel here, but we're at the higher end of this up channel. So I think you could actually trade this both ways on the shorter term time frame. And we're looking here at the 15-minute chart here. So again, if it came down here, for example, I think you could go long, but be very close here. But if we got a short trade, which we did yesterday, by the way, on this, we actually placed that short trade because it was at the upper end of this channel, and we made our profit and walked away. Similar here. I think you could do it either way. Above 70 you short, below 30 you buy. And then a quick mention on gold. So for those of you looking to day trade gold, you can do that. That rule that we use with currency actually works for gold too. So here's your kind of medium-term trend with gold. Obviously, it's had a massive run up. It's going sideways now at the moment and probably trending back towards the middle. I think you could trade this either way. So then if we bring the chart into our 15-minute chart, I kind of went back over the last few days. And anytime it gets below 30, you can buy. I much prefer probably to play it on the bullish sense, to be honest, just because of the demand for gold that's out there. But so every time you get down to 30, you buy, you get out a couple of points later. That has worked pretty much every time. You would have got 4 trades in the last 2 days out of that. So that 15-minute window on RSI works with gold as well. But remember your stop losses too, and again, economic announcements need to be monitored. Okay, that's your day trading update for the 4 currency pairs and gold. Let me know how you get on as well. If you've placed any of these trades, let me know. And again, if you need help setting up your alerts, please book a strategy call. Thanks and bye for now.